Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today to the Nick 6. We are a group of friends and D&D players currently playing two campaigns, which we are going to be streaming for you guys every Saturday. We are actively 3 sessions into one campaign, and we are going to be doing our session 0 for the second campaign today for you guys to see. To start off with, for introductions, I am Kieran. You may also hear me being referred to as Luca, and I, for the campaign we're already playing, am playing Rain, a Fulham ASMR blood hunter who was once a paladin in training for the temple at the Knights of Tyr. He is 6'3" and well built. He is well spoken but a little rough around the edges. He is out trying to find his own way in life after leaving the church for mysterious and yet unknown reasons. I'm now going to pass this off over to Z to introduce himself and his character.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Z. My character's just a little description is he's 6'3", he's a tiefling. I'll be playing a artificer slash gunslinger. He's got long hair, ponytail in the back, about 6'5" with his horns, red skin, emerald green eyes, then a goatee. And he's a little southern, so we'll be talking like this most of the campaign. So, if anything, I'd like to pass it off to James over here.
Well, my name is James. I will be playing Sakari, a half-elf, half-ASMR. He has angel blood in his veins, and he's out on a journey to figure out what's wrong with the world. He grew up in the same place that Rain did. He was kind of separated from everybody else, and he has this one particular mission that everyone else has no idea of. He is around 5'7", kind of skinny but still strong, and he is a paladin, also of the Tyr religion. And he talks a little bit like this, a little breathier, but a little out of practice. He is, I won't say an asshole, but the others would.
I will.
A bit of an asshole to his brother, but he's good-hearted and definitely good-natured. I will go ahead and pass this off to our good friend Aiden over here.
Hello, I am Aiden, and I will be playing Alice Pleasance Liddell, a human light and main cleric, an awkward young noble girl who found herself a hero after falling into another world, now wanders, running from her lost years and past life, protecting those who can't protect themselves. And I'll pass it off over to Mitchell.
What up, you guys? It's your boy Mitchell. I'm here playing Polaris, the Tabaxi Star Druid, and he comes from the very distinguished clan of the Andromeda, who live amongst the trees and interpret the stars. He's off on a journey to, connect with the other villages, see what he can do, fulfill his potential. He is not this confident. In fact, he is a very shy, very naive boy. He is about 5'7". He is what the kids refer to as a short king. He has no tolerance for bullshit because he was not raised with it. If you ask him what his backstory is, that's what he's saying. Yeah, you get what you get. And now we're gonna pass it on to Sydney.
I'm Sydney. I am the DM, the creator, and the ruler in this campaign. The world everybody is playing in is the country of Lemurin. It's a pretty typical fantasy setting and a little bit more on the RP heavy side, but a little bit of combat mixed in too.
Lovely. We hope you guys are going to be tuning in to watch our sessions. We are going to be doing probably bi-weekly as we switch out between the two campaigns, and it's going to be a lot of fun. This is a good journey for us, our first time streaming these games, and we hope you guys enjoy it as much as we are.
Perfect. So should we head on over to figuring out what we're doing for the second campaign?
Session
Campaign
0 for
Oh, not yet.
Mitchell's campaign.
You guys need to vote on things. I'm not done.
We will vote on it as part of session 0, Mitchell.
Okay, fine.
We can do our little. No.
It's fine. I can verbally. I don't have to type this all out. I can just verbally tell you about the campaign.
Okay.
Okay. Change to anyone's link. Viewer, you guys don't need to edit this document. Copy link. Post it in Discord. Actually, I can post it in TBD. TBD discussions.
TBD is the acronym because we don't know what this world is called yet.
No, I do. It's called TBD. It's spelled out, so it's like
That is the
TI.
best way. Yeah.
So it's the world of
THI,
TBD.
Yeah, it's the world of TBD.
It's
Not to be confused with the Heart of
beautiful.
Tafidi,
It's funny.
beloved Disney god.
Wait, what about
That's a-
Tafiti? I missed that whole conversation. My roommate
Tafiti?
walked in.
I
Well,
feel like I
because-
missed that whatever Disney you're talking about.
Moana? The
I
Heart of
didn't see
Tafiti?
Moana. I didn't see Moana.
You didn't see Dwayne The Rock Johnson in Moana?
Wait, you didn't see
No.
Moana? Moana is so good
No,
though.
We were gonna stream it and then we couldn't because Disney.
Like,
Plus-
Moana thick as fuck.
Well, Discord actually did their stuff
Oh,
properly like
bro.
they were supposed to.
Okay, I'm
It was
sorry.
unfortunate.
These names.
Can you
Dead.
tell me how great they are? That's
I am
that's
dead.
What we
that's
got? What
that's
we
like
got?
that's like 2:30 a.m. Mitchell like fucking
Oh,
naming things.
Oh,
The
I think we're
grass
in the middle.
Swords, the
God.
Adventuring Academy.
all
Okay.
in our wars.
Mitchell, Mitchell,
What?
do you want to introduce the campaign options we're going to be going through?
Yes.
Their beautiful names.
So I'm gonna be. I'll introduce you guys to the different campaign settings that I have some things written for. These are all games that I've played in the past. So like I have like a very surface level intro on all of them. So don't worry about picking one that would have more preparations. Nothing like that. And then at the end, you guys are going to organize them into a list of top 3. So like the top campaign that you want to play really bad, the second game that you also don't mind playing, and the third game you also don't mind playing. And then all that together, I'll pick the one that has the most votes, and that's the one we'll do as a group. So the very first option you guys have is Degrassi, but with swords, otherwise known as the Adventuring Academy. Inspired by Kieran's One Shot and other Let's Play content like D20, you guys will be playing younger heroes as you, either by choice or by force, are sent to the Adventuring Academy that has not yet been named. And you guys will have to juggle, a lot of like RP and like social things, along with like extracurriculars, sports. I do want to get a hold of the Strixhaven and kind of incorporate some of that because I've heard that it's quite fun to play. Combat will happen semi-regularly. Like a loose structure is kind of like you have like your main studies during the week, and on the weekends you kind of get sent out on like field trips where like the school will send you, because like you guys are like working adventurers. You guys are just in training, so it's like you are still being sent out into the world to help.
I feel like my favorite part about that campaign setting was how you had to explain to me what Degrassi was when you first showed it.
Yeah, it's an American
never
TV show.
watched
where
Moana.
I
I
haven't
don't know
actually
what
watched
Degrassi
Degrassi.
is.
I don't know
It's
much.
the
Don't
back. It's
Have
the origin story of
Degrassi
Dre.
over here.
I'm
It
sure you
reminds
have
me
something
of,
similar.
Like, Little Witch Academia and My Hero combined.
Boku no
That's what it
Hero
makes me think
Academia.
of.
Yeah, and so pros, so it is gonna be very RP heavy. So a lot of like social scenes, social tension, all that stuff. Cons is like with your backstory, not a lot of like places or maybe people will come into play since you are kind of like in this isolated environment. So a lot of backstory elements are more going to be used for like talking points, working through it. I'm sure most of you have tragic backstories that will give you lots of social problems that you can work through and help with a support system of people. NPCs will be a little bit more fleshed out. You don't talk to every single student or else I'll cry. But like there will be definitely some people.
We will learn every student in every class. We'll have the
And
whole
we'll
year.
go
planned
through
out.
Oh my God, we'll
the
make
food
English.
hall and
Yeah.
just literally go, "Hi, nice to meet you. What's your backstory?" Just for
I want to
just
walk down
for
this
3 sessions in a
entire
row.
lane of tables and just shake everyone's hand.
We will spend 3 sessions on our first day at lunch.
Yeah, that's fine. If you guys have fun doing that, by all means, I'll
I
just
do have fun doing that.
fucking
Improv the
End my
living
life.
shit out of your life.
I'll just unsubscribe. Okay.
Unsubscribe from life.
The next option you guys have is You Meddling Kids, otherwise known as the Mystery Campaign. So it is going to be the whole tone of that, whereas Degrassi but with Swords is like a more lighthearted campaign until it's not, because teens are very dramatic. You Meddling Kids, you guys will be aged up. It'll be a little bit spookier. You guys are going to be solving mysteries very akin to the one shot I ran a couple weeks ago, or like a month ago. Doing that, word of mouth, kind of just traveling the continent, solving problems that go bump in the night, helping, and things like that. Pros, it will be like very like tense, mysterious, and things like that. Not everything will have to be solved with combat, so if you guys aren't as into combat as you want, this is a campaign that is a little heavier on that, on the other two pillars. Exploration, and then as far as like backstory implementation, it would be easier to tie in like settings and people. So that's something to consider when you write up your characters for that. Moving along, we have The Fault in Our Wars, otherwise known as the campaign after the campaign. For those of you who know, congratulations. For those of you who don't, it is also inspired by another Let's Play, NADDPOD, not another D&D podcast. You are playing in a world that has already been saved. Generations ago, or even as far as like 5 years ago, the world had faced a calamity, and it was saved by a group of heroes. And unfortunately, as the all too reality is, that decisions made in times of war have consequences. And so the main theme of that campaign is short-term gains versus long-term suffering. Seeing, maybe don't meet your heroes, or maybe they are, who knows. So there will be like a little bit of a mystery element. The pros for that one is it won't necessarily be like as open world. It'll be more like kind of like there'll be several big settings of like cities and other important places, and you guys will go between those. Very easy to incorporate backstory elements and things like that. So it's kind of like a fun post-war, like adventure. Next one up, we have Did Someone Say Collectibles, the retro roundup, inspired by such classic tales as Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, fucking Jak and Daxter, any like old video game. You got collectibles, you got MacGuffins, you gotta collect them to save the world. Featuring such fun, unique locales as the lava level, the ice level, the space level, the classic like Mario worlds. And that'd be fun.
The underwater level where you die like 10 times just trying to get through.
Underwater level.
The underwater
There's no
level.
checkpoint.
Expect to hate my life if we have a water level. I'm just putting that out there.
What if you turn into mermaids? What if you all are mermaids during the water level?
Some Kingdom Hearts type stuff.
Why?
The Kingdom Hearts bullshit? Hell yeah.
If I play the character I have built, phew, that's gonna suck.
And then we have Hunter x Fairy Tail x Hunter. It's in the name. If you're not an anime fan, please don't worry. I'm just a weeb. It'll combine the two worlds of both Fairy Tail and Hunter x Hunter in the fact that you guys, in accordance to the one shot I ran months ago, you guys will be playing a group of adventurers who are, applying for their like adventuring license. Many different people want this license for many different reasons. It grants a lot of access to otherwise barricaded content. It lets you, it's valuable as far as like monetary value. And then those who do have adventuring licenses need to register under a guild. And that will be very fun. You get to go on, very easy to like set on missions, more straightforward. There won't be as much you figuring it out versus like being like, hey, like we gotta go do this. Later in the campaign, very much set up to like, if you guys want to set up your own guild and do like some resource management and like building and like going on like your own missions to like, recruit people, get resources, have cool features. I think it'd be really fun. Also very easy to incorporate backstory and all that jazz. Fun, colorful characters.
So early campaigns, sort of like the first idea, but less academia, school, Harry Potter-esque road to adventuring, and where that would be the whole campaign. More early that, accelerating into full-fledged adventures closer towards whatever we end up at max level.
Yes.
Is for our campaign.
So, first question.
Yes.
With the Guild Wars one, would
Uh-huh.
there be hunter ranks? That's my biggest interest right now.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Like an
there is
entrance
like kind of
exam
Additional
type thing.
I
licensing.
don't like the look on his face.
Like the
That is
entrance
my
exam type thing
favorite.
sounds really
Love it.
cool.
I kind of like it myself too. So
I never like the look on James's face when he's excited about something because it's normally
No,
not
that
good.
that was not good. That was
So-
When you say entrance exam,
Yes.
just so
Being-
we have this like solid for
it's
everybody,
gonna be like
right?
a very good first arc. Like your first couple levels are gonna be this entrance exam.
But it's less like, you know, Harry Potter 4 Gauntlet of Challenges or My Hero Academia, like
See,
those
I'm
entrance exams, and
envisioning,
more like lower level, almost scripted questing set up by a group of people to go do basically chores that will give us access to an adventuring license. More of an entrance job than an entrance like
I want the
scholastic exam.
exam.
Okay,
thing.
how I'm picturing
Right.
the explanation of that is I'm thinking very literal Hunter x Hunter in the sense of
I
there
haven't
are
ever watched
arenas.
Hunter.
Okay, so there
Really
are
good.
arenas and set like different levels of things, and anyone who has made it to that level can fight in that arena, but they take turns, and it's like a constant rotation. So
Mhm.
once you beat that one, you can go on to the next level and try and beat the next one.
A tournament arc. I mean, every good
Is it sort
campaign needs a
of-
tournament arc. So how I'm envisioning it is like it will be a mix of like scripted things like hey, or kind of like running scenarios like drills of like hey,
Yeah.
you're in a dungeon, what do you do?
Mhm.
Hey, you have to fucking be diplomatic. How are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
And then it'll kind of morph more into okay, we kind of taught you what to do. Here's like a stress test.
Mhm.
As far as James's question of ranks, if one of you somehow, just fucking has like the dice gods bless them, they're fucking mowing through every challenge.
right?
Maybe that opens up some side stuff for them specifically. Maybe it gives them access to missions, and if they're a part of a registered party, their party can go with them. But that has the expectation of like you're just going on a mission set for a certain level.
Yeah.
But there are more general ranks, and I'll probably just tie those to tiers and maybe even give them like some middle tiers. So like, like tier 1, like levels 1 through 4 are probably gonna be like their own rank. 5 through blah will be their another of their own ranks.
Question though, like, what if you do hit like 5 through 12 for rank 2, but you still roll like shit for the promotion exam? Like, you would still end up in like tier 1, right?
Maybe I'll have to figure that out when it happens.
I have a question about the Degrassi, whatever,
Yes.
high school one.
Is
there, like,
up
a-
on Hunter x Hunter?
Oh
quick?
yeah, sure,
I have
sure.
one last question. So, is it like arena style, or is it like, here's this fake mission, let's see how you do? And you're
Kinda
just
like
gonna
that.
head off in the. It's more like that.
It's like that, and then also kind of like how, like they had to figure out where the actual exam was. That is also going to be like a factor of it.
Okay, ready. Okay.
All right, so Karen, you
Uh,
said a question about Degrassi.
For the Degrassi High School one, is there
Mhm.
like a larger at-hand mystery? Is it just, we're going through our squeeze, or is it like, oh, the Voldemorts or the All for One or whatever?
Is it
coming to-
fantasy Harry Potter?
I guess because Harry Potter takes.
Is
place
there
in
like
modern
a
day.
big bad still? Is there someone like a big mystery, big evil guy trying to do bad stuff, or is
There
it
could be
literally
some-
we're going through school?
There might be some big bads. There might be a prophecy. A la Percy Jackson, or what else has prophecy? The Warrior series? No.
The quiet kid just
A lot of stuff has problems.
bring the fucking wand with the silencer to school.
Star Wars.
Bro, too real, too real.
Bible guy?
Adventuring guide. Oh, I love it.
Harry
I mean,
Potter?
one of-
That would be so funny though.
Look,
It
if you just
really
want to,
would.
if you just want to make your character fucking Ned Mosby, sure.
No, I'm
Adding to
thinking
the-
Joke in the head. Are you kidding me? That would be an opportunity.
I was like,
Come on.
adding to the Harry
No,
Potter.
I'll
type
give you a
thing.
kobold to his coconut head if you can make your character Ned.
Oh wow.
I love it.
Okay.
Adding to the Harry Potter type theme, are we gonna be sorted into houses?
Do you want to be sorted into houses?
Honestly, kind of.
I know.
I was gonna say
don't
kind
like
of.
it. I
I want them to be different and
Slaughterhouse.
maybe.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, you know what
I'm on
might
the
be
train
cool
thing
is
now.
instead of just separation of houses being like almost a personality thing like Harry Potter, where it's like it kind of bases it off your thoughts and your personality and that stuff, it's more the houses are separated by like everybody learns generally everything, but they're separated almost by interest. So you've got one house that is very much more like almost naturey focused. Maybe one
Okay,
that's
yeah.
really into
You
like
can do
the
that.
moon and like weird magics that seem kind of shadowy and weird.
So what
Maybe
we could
one is,
do
like blood.
is to continue that is like we could organize it how like there. I mean, it doesn't have to just have to be four. Like, but there'll be like a set number of houses that cover, like you said, like different domains. So like naturey stuff that'll cover like druids and rangers, but they will also cover
Level of barbarians.
subclasses. So like if you
Yeah.
turn into I think there's a paladin that's nature themed.
I think
Like,
there's
if
a
you-
paladin. A lot of barbarian ones are nature themed.
So like it's less like you pick it forever. Like if you
There's
turn
one
paladin,
for-
you'll go to like a more martial or like the religion domain. But then once you subclass into nature, then you might get moved into a different house, which could have some fun RP.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's another just general question for all of them. What are the starting levels for each?
Ooh.
Are we starting from 1 for Adventuring Academy, like 5 for Mystery?
That's a great question. For sure, level 1 for Adventure Academy and
Yeah, I'm actually really good. I'm actually
Hunter x Hunter.
really cool with
Yeah.
that.
I feel
Yeah.
like Hunter x
2
Hunter,
doesn't
we
make
might
more
want to start
sense.
at 2. Just because 1 is such a rough level that it
It
makes
is.
I'd
sense
agree
for an
with you.
Adventuring Academy as like freshmen.
Yeah.
But like
I mean-
for Hunter x Hunter trying to start like level 1 is basically the equivalent of a guy that goes, I'm going to adventure and then leaves. That's
No, I
about
don't
it.
think-
Technically, if you look at the stats for a level 1 any adventure, they're way better than the normal person. Like, you still have
It is
some-
Well, yeah, like it's still like
One
there's
is like the
debatable.
point where you
kind of-
realize I'm special.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm special enough that maybe I will go do this, but that's about it. You're
Yeah,
still
pretty much.
kind of dog shit when it comes to like
Kind of
actually
dog
doing
shit. Yeah.
anything in the world.
Yeah.
I
mean,
kind of like the
also,
idea of
Level
like a
2 is like just barely enough, but I would honestly even go to level 3
Honestly,
just because
the
those first 3
whole
levels suck.
licensing exam is probably gonna take like a pretty good amount of sessions. So if I start you at 1, I can guarantee you're not gonna be level 1 by the time you get it. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna be leveling up pretty quickly.
Mm.
I kind of like the
I mean,
idea.
if we
though,
do
of, like,
speed through the first 3 levels for that, what I'm mostly worried about with that one is coming out of it and still like struggling with like groups of smaller enemies.
Well, I
And
mean,
it's like, oh, we're supposed to have our
hopefully,
adventuring license and like be actual like adventurers and quote unquote like heroes or whatever,
Mhm.
and be like taking like basically bounties, but we can't take anything higher than like 4 goblins because otherwise
Entirely
we
true,
kind of get our
because
ass kicked.
no matter what level we are, it's still 5 of us for every campaign.
Well, yeah, obviously.
5 people can take 4 goblins at level 1 if you play your cards right.
True.
Okay, the equivalent of 4 goblins for
Yeah,
a
yeah,
group
yeah, I
of
know what you
5
mean.
people.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm sure
it's
the DM
fine.
knows his CR levels and stuff.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, of course he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a calculator. I can do it. I can figure it out.
So,
Okay. Any other questions
I mean,
about
yeah,
the campaigns or?
I personally, I have a comment about the Adventuring Academy one. I
Yes.
think it is my personal vote because it is one big place that would be great with Foundry that you can just multi-level and plan it all out without having to worry about anything else for a good amount of time.
My
Mhm.
other thing is, it's
Just
because
one
if we're
big-ass
spending so
building.
much time in the school, then there's potential for like a whole world out there when we go on quests and stuff. Everything feels like a much bigger world. Also, I really want to play Strixhaven. I'm not even. I just want to run something out of that module.
Oh, that's really good.
So-
I'm gonna buy the book.
Unless anybody has any more like
Questions.
that they need answered as far as like understanding so
I
that
have.
they can pick.
Yes.
Do any of these
Last
have
questions.
any race and class limitations on them?
No, I don't like that mechanic.
Okay, awesome, sweet.
Okay, yeah, sweet.
But you know, don't
Okay,
make
so-
something just completely batshit bananas.
Yeah, don't go a
Make it
kobold
make
in the
sense.
Adventuring Academy. Like, what are you doing, dude?
I mean, you can be the world's strongest kobold. You can one for all that shit.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, you just have to
yeah,
make it make sense.
Yeah.
Just make it make
Anything is
sense.
allowed if you make it make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
And just don't name yourself fucking Cum Gutters McGee, okay, guys? Please. Not that I think any of you would, but like, you know.
I'm just thinking about Sword Art Online and where it's like, thanks for your help, Balls Deep 69.
I'll just be a fucking Chad named Cody Brooks, the Throat Destroyer.
It's so visceral. Alright, so if you guys are ready to vote, I'll leave you guys to your own devices.
yeah,
So,
I was gonna say, let's go through and have everybody say what they're
No,
which one
you
they're
guys,
thinking.
you guys are just gonna type it out. I want you
Okay.
guys
Well,
to just.
because I have
get
multiple
everyone's
things to talk
opinions
about when
on-
it comes to my options.
Yeah, I
You
prefer to
have
hear
that.
everyone's opinions.
Yeah.
I would
Okay,
prefer if we just all like took our
Alright.
turns talking about
All of them, yeah.
our
Or like, yeah,
thoughts
yeah.
on which
Our
ones we
personal
should choose.
preferences, yeah.
And remember, you guys get 3 choices, so it's not like a zero-sum game.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to start?
I was gonna say,
I'll
let's
go first.
Okay,
I'll go
sure.
first. My number one pick is going to be Adventuring Academy. Personally, I really want to run some stuff out of the Strixhaven
Hold up,
module.
you didn't say the name.
What do you mean?
Yes, okay. Degrassi. I keep forgetting.
Oh,
I don't know
it's
what
the
it is, okay.
subname.
That was
Degrassi, but
I
with
don't know what
swords.
it is either,
Thank you.
and I am
Degrassi,
American.
but with swords. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to run some stuff out of Strixhaven. I'm a big Dimension 20 fan, and I've been wanting to run something similar to that for a while now. My character that I've built, I feel fits really well with it. Beyond that, wider-wise, I feel like it has a lot of story potential. I really think RP is where this group shines, and I think that's the best one for it. And I feel there's a lot we can do with that world and the lore behind the Adventuring Academy. We have to pick 3, right, Mitchell?
So, like, your
Okay.
number 1, your number 2, and your number 3.
My number 2 would be Hunter x Hunter Fairy Tail. There's not really a lot of reasons for that. I just like Fairy Tail. I'm a big Fairy Tail
Fairy
nerd.
Tail is
and
my
also
basis for that one.
my
too.
character that I have is pretty much Natsu. He's a Way of the Dragon monk, so he has a Iron Fist and a Fire Dragon and Fire Dragon Raw, so it works.
God.
And last one would be You Meddling Kids because Zoink Scooby Doo.
Well, I don't.
Fast
I'll
enough.
go-
What are you,
I'll
what are
go
you
next
talking
since
about?
I already labeled one of mine. My first vote is still Degrassi, but with swords because of the ease with Foundry. I do also think that RP is our strong suit so far. It's usually when I have the most fun with this group is when we can like fully get into RP. I have a pretty ridiculous character already lined up for this, and I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, me and James have
But,
a dynamic ready already.
I think that one's my top for sure. My next one is Guild Wars, just because the idea of a ranking system sounds fucking dope as hell, and I would love to like try and get lucky. It's kind of like gambling, like trying to get lucky and get a high rank during the entrance exams to like be able to bring the party around on like higher risk but higher reward missions and try and, you know, stealthily do it so we don't have to like fight the big ass ogre, but we can still get the item that we were requested to go get and bring it back and stuff like that. It sounds really dope. And then my last one would be I'd say The Fault in Our Wars, just because it sounds really cool to see the aftermath of a, you know, a stopped calamity and kind of meet the heroes, see if they were truly heroes or not, or if they had their own little, you know, reason for this, or maybe one of the heroes was actually trying to cause the calamity and no one figured it out, you know, shit like that. So those are my 3 votes.
Do you know what else I'll say about Guild Wars though, quickly?
Sure.
I feel like Guild Wars is very easily incorporable into Degrassi but with swords, and we can do that without having that be the entire focus and have stuff around it with that one. That's
Oh,
why
true.
that's not my top.
It could be it could be basically we go if we decide to have it go long enough, go from Degrassi but with swords into basically a variant model of Hunter.
We
Fairy Tail.
graduate the
I mean,
academy
they are.
into Come True Adventures.
they both are designed to take you to level 20. We can do something in between if you guys want, or you guys can just play a world where you guys are fucking high school dropouts. I mean, shit. Wouldn't that be a fun group name? Hey, we're the dropouts.
I feel like that's
Trademarked.
trademarked. I think that's
Probably.
trademarked.
No,
It
not
would be
interesting.
kind of cool to like mix Adventuring Academy and Guild Wars. Like have the
That's my
early
only
part
thing.
of Guild Wars, and then go into the Adventuring Academy, and then have the later part of Guild Wars with the,
I feel like
Kind
the
of
Guild
missions
Wars
and
would
stuff
be
like that.
later in adventuring. Like, I feel like adventuring
Yeah.
Academy start learning and then go into the Guild Wars to get our whips
Well,
and what we learn.
That's
I
my
feel like-
thing with the two of them is I feel like both of them are just really similar, but just like
Jeff different enough to be separate.
I think the Degrassi
like
just
different
has more
enough to be
freedom.
separate, but the same
They're
overall ideas.
They're
It's
the
just
same
two different
timeline,
ways of
just
going.
two different ends of the timeline.
Mhm.
You kind
I
of
think it's the same idea. I think Degrassi has more potential.
Alright, so
Okay,
who's
sure.
next with their
I'll
vote?
go next.
Okay.
So
See, fucking eyebrows.
I'm really
We just see Sydney's forehead, and she's just like,
so I'm really torn between two of them for my first pick.
Mhm.
Degrassi But with Swords and The Fault in Our Wars, because my character that I've made that I really, really love and want to play really bad does not whatsoever fit in Degrassi with Swords. Like I could make it work. I could make it work and it would be cool, but I feel like I'd be losing a lot of potential, a lot of what makes that a good, satisfying campaign idea.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And so I would 100% be starting from scratch
Mhm.
with my character and
Mm.
everything.
yeah,
And so I have no idea what I'm doing, so it would take me longer to build a character for it,
yeah.
as well as I don't think I would want to play my second character that I made either as backup.
Mhm.
Maybe a hybrid version, but I don't think I would be the same, and I need a lot
Yeah,
more details.
I think with
to decide
Adventuring
on that one,
Academy,
but-
we'd be pretty much scrapping all of our characters.
my character.
at
would
least-
change.
The character.
heavily changing a lot.
Sydney
Unless
has a character she really
you just-
likes.
I know
Yes,
Sydney
well.
has a character from my one shot that she's been saying she needs the right, the right campaign for that she's just begging to play.
But I'm also really tied up with The Fault in Our Wars because I feel like that. I love the idea of like starting a campaign like right at the end, like maybe even like the day of the saving, and we all like meet as a group or like are in the same like crowd of people watching the
Oh,
world get
yeah.
saved, and then like I really like that idea. Plus,
all
the
come to
character I
consciousness?
built
All
already
right,
works in that kind of a
final
world.
battle.
To me, the
Um,
Fault in Our Wars sounds more like a one shot than a campaign. Personally, that's why
I
I, didn't
agree
put it
too.
on my list.
Well, I almost see it as kind of very similar to the way Critical Role is running their campaign 2 and 3.
Yeah, fair.
Or like Exandria Unlimited. Exandria Unlimited is so heavily built into what Vox Machina had done in Tal'Dorei because it took place in Tal'Dorei,
Mhm.
and it was so well built. And yes, it was a mini campaign, but it easily had the drive to go into a full campaign. They just
Which
didn't
some of
want
it
it
has.
to. And well, yeah, and 3 of the characters are now over in Marquette for campaign 3.
I like
And
Farron.
so I feel like I don't necessarily feel like it's a one shot or a mini campaign. I feel like it does have the breadth to go full out and explore a lot. Plus it fits the character I have built. So, and I do really want to play that character. So that's why they're kind of tied for me. Like overall, I like Degrassi But with Swords more and would like to play it more. But I really like my character.
Hurts to see your character go.
Yeah, it really hurts because I don't know if I ever will get to play that character
Uh huh.
if I don't play it now.
Now.
I have a
So-
recommendation.
What if we
Possible suggestion.
kill off?
Would it help if I don't know if this works for you, Mitchell? We aged it up to college instead of high school.
No.
It doesn't help my character
I
at all.
don't want.
No.
My
okay.
What is your character?
My character is very much Molly meets Laudna plus
Oh.
Keyleth. It's
What?
What is your
Have you
character?
read Worm?
it's okay. I'm
What does he
playing a-
look like?
A Swarmkeeper Ranger
Uh huh.
that is a wood elf who fucking died, can't remember anything, and is now blind.
Oh yeah, you can't go to
And
my
so
school.
They use the bugs their whole body is riddled and functioning through creatures of decay, so wasps, maggots,
My walking
worms,
nightmare.
insects that literally feed on flesh.
How would you
And
Yeah.
even?
they
I'm running
use
the
blind
other
sight
way.
through those creatures
I'm
living in the earth in order
My
to
question is, how would you even enter into our party in the first place?
Okay, I have a.
That's why I could
Permission
not
to
play that
join the
character
party.
Degrassi.
I will say,
I could not
I
do
don't.
that.
I don't know if you've seen Fantasy High, but there's way worse than
I have
that.
not.
Like Fort Adventuring Academy. Honestly, there is way more fucked
Well,
up shit
oh yeah,
than that.
oh yeah. Like it could be worse. That's just I definitely could make my character work properly.
Or it could be
It's just
before
going
they
to be
died.
very difficult. But I don't want to play that character.
Yeah.
This campaign is their backstory.
This campaign is the backstory before
That
that.
would be kind of cool, but I don't want to play.
Mhm.
I don't know who that character is
Yeah.
or what that character is.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They also only became special after they died.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I get you.
Unless Mitchell decides otherwise, because my whole plan was literally to give Mitchell the reins on my backstory entirely, and just go full Molly Mock, where I literally know jack shit about my character, and
Speaking of,
maybe mild details.
I got to episode 115 of campaign 2 and I'm fucking losing my marbles.
Right?
You're ahead of me now.
I
No
didn't think I'd ever
way.
get that far.
Speaking of Molly Mock, let's go to Molly Mock's biggest fan now, Sydney. What's your?
So much. Numero uno, Degrassi, but with swords.
I think we know
I
what we're
want to
playing.
play my character with all of my heart. This is perfect. I really like the idea of being able to explore some sort of magical school without. Basically, I'm excited to indulge in some sort of Harry Potter fantasy thing without it being Harry Potter. Yeah, I really like that. I also think that high school RP and interaction is absolutely hilarious. I think it has a lot of opportunities, and I like the idea of. I don't know. I like it. Number 2 is The Fault in Our Wars. The only reason that this one is over the Fairy Tail Hunter thing
Mhm.
because I think this would be more RP heavy than Hunter Fairy Tail Hunter. And that's more what I would like. I also think it is an absolutely interesting idea to live in the wake of heroes of a world that was almost destroyed. And like, I don't know. That's yes. Hunter, that one, the Guild Wars, I like it. The idea of finding these giant hidden arenas and this network of like underground, not knowing who is who, fighting against whatever. I love that idea, but I think it would be not too combat heavy, but it's more combat heavy.
Super
And
combat
I
heavy.
think the concept is cool, but I think eventually it would kind of be like, okay, I'm good.
We burned enough shit now.
Yes.
What? Murder hobos never learn the errors of their ways. What are you talking about?
None of us have ever been murder hobos except maybe James.
I was a murder host.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're not wrong.
I was proper kill happy for a while in one campaign. I'm
I'm
not.
not gonna say that Diosis didn't kill some villagers because they were talking
Yost
shit.
is killing everyone, bro.
I've only
Yost
ever been
tons
forced
of
into being a murder hobo.
And then Dios has had this weird vendetta against old people, and he never explained it.
I did actually explain it multiple
No,
times.
you know what?
Yeah.
That's just James because he's doing the same
That
stuff.
bitch
in
was a
our
witch.
campaign. Yeah, every old woman is a witch to Yost, to James.
All right, so Z, what about you? What are your thoughts? What are your goals,
There's no
ideas, and
there's no point because it was Degrassi. So
So I want to hear your opinion though.
just talk
well,
to us in that voice you have.
more of a toss up between You Meddling Kids and Degrassi.
Mhm.
But ultimately, I want to go with Degrassi because it reminds me of one of my old campaigns that I was in.
Mhm.
Where there was like branches between all the classes or whatever,
Ooh.
and it was for the Autumn Mother. So each class had its own unique ability. after you got branded. So with mine, since I was a druid slash warlock is what I was, but what it was mainly for like scouts basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it gave me ability to where for 24 hours I was able to see anyone's tracks within that area within that 24-hour period.
Ooh.
And then as we leveled up through ranks or whatever, we get a different ability.
Ooh.
My second one was I got an extra like 10 feet of movement.
Ooh, nice.
So that's
like
mainly
that.
what it, direct grassy was for me. So
Alright, so you guys go ahead and in what is it, Tempest discussions, go ahead and just type out like your 1, 2, 3.
Could we?
Yes.
I think it's pretty clear.
I think it's pretty clear what we're playing,
We all
bro.
answered the same.
Everyone's top
number
vote
one.
was Degrassi, but with swords.
But I want to see. I want
And
to
then it was
see
like
it.
almost an even split between Fault in Our War, or it was more Hunter Fairy Tale Hunter for second,
Yeah.
close with Fault in Our Wars, like right behind it by like I think 1 vote, and then third
Pretty
was
much
all over
just
the
want
place.
the Adventuring
Yeah,
Academy mixed with Guild Wars in a way.
Adventuring Academy.
I just want
How
to see
do
it. I want to see it typed out.
Alright, where do you want it?
How do I go down a level in Discord without sending the message?
Out?
What?
I think.
Like,
Nani?
like
It's either shift or control.
Oh yeah, shift enter.
okay, shift enter. I knew it was one of the two, but I didn't want to hit it wrong and then send a message.
I understand.
Honestly, when I have to do that, I just go on my phone and type it out. I'm like, fucking whatever.
Just, God damn it.
Rosie, you gotta do the 1, 2, 3s. Ah.
You meddling kids is also a honorable mention for me.
I will say this.
It was fighting for third in my head.
I think I'm the only person that made it look really pretty.
Yeah, pretty
either way,
much.
I will say this. Since we are pretty much going to be doing Degrassi, I personally,
Wait, it's a little god,
I
not
don't know
call
if
it
we're going to
Degrassi.
do it today. I don't know if we're going to do it today necessarily, but I want to actually sit down and make characters together. Like, I don't want to make characters separately like we did the last campaign, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I struggle a lot with the RP in our first campaign, because not only did I make Alice literally in the car on the way to Nevada, and then play her the next day, so I had a super rush character creation,
Yeah,
wrote my
I'm down.
backstory quite literally an hour before we played, or the night before we played, but also I had no idea of anybody else's characters, so I feel like my character specifically is just very almost clashy with everybody else.
Yeah.
Mitchell, do you own Strixhaven?
No, but I mean, I got
I do.
School's income. I can buy
Guess who
Strixhaven.
does?
Is it Kieran?
What was it? What?
I know Z does.
Can you
I also have
like
it.
share it with the D&D Beyond
That's
thing?
the only thing I
I
want
can.
shared is Strixhaven.
Okay, that was you guys' introduction to the Nyx 6 and our D&D campaigns. We've got 2 great campaigns coming for you guys. We hope you enjoyed this little introduction to us, seeing us talk about what we're going to be doing, and we'll see you when we start streaming our games. Till next time, everybody. Peace.
Bye.
See ya.